Lots of exciting updates. I know we're getting close to the end of the year, but it just seems like things are just ramping up instead of winding down, which, it's crypto, I guess. Um, so first, we want to get a few updates. We'll go around, want to get some updates on Miami. Really exciting things took place there. We saw some great photos. So we'll have Sam and Jack and Boris, whoever wants to give us an update. Then we want to talk about our internal performance reviews. We'll highlight some folks. And then we can talk about an update, a status update on our infrastructure. And then we can kind of wrap up with some product updates, launch updates, and anything else you guys want to talk about. All right, Miami first. Who wants to go first? Sam.
Okay, I'll go first. First off, it's great to be back. And so for all the team that really supported us while we were out in Miami, thank you so much. I know that when I take off and when several of us take off, sometimes it becomes hard to get a hold of us, and we may not be producing as much, or I definitely am not producing as much to the rest of the team when I'm on the floor there in at a show. But I really appreciate all the work that you guys did. What I really want to show off is the power of our community. So here is a picture that we took after pushing everybody to the side. All of the people there in the blue box, that's just our ecosystem, right? These are people who are able to make it to Miami, filled our entire booth, DeFi Kingdoms, Harmonies, Madden NFT, APY Vision, Seek NFT, Crypto Royale. I can't even, I know I'm missing a bunch. Ceph Wallet was there. And that was amazing. And you can see off to the left and to the right how we basically pushed some people out of the way, because our booth was always crowded. It was fantastic. We are right at the intersection of the NFT hall, which is right behind those double doors, and the DeFi hall. So we had all of that stuff going by. Jack, you mentioned earlier you stopped by the Polygon and the Cardano booth as well. How active were those?
It was pretty quiet.
Sorry, I had to throw a little shade. No, but this is the thing, right? Because for us, the technology of the Harmony platform is one thing, and it's fantastic. So much credit to all of the people who have built this amazing platform. But the energy and the vibrancy that we can show off by showing the people who build on us, this is what it's about right there. And so it was fantastic. It was really, really great. I thoroughly enjoyed being there with everybody. I wish I had more time. I was able to meet, and really share beers and just hang out and get drunk with all the people there. Not that I get drunk, but but the idea is it was really a lot of fun. Boris, RJ, Jack, what other kind of comments do you guys have about what happened?
Well, I think the energy with the community, it was brutal. I mean, yes, we interacted with a lot of people in the booth all the time, a lot of questions, all stuff. But for me, the highlight was, hanging out with these people and they bring into me new ideas how we can do that. For me, the highlight was Ceph. They want to integrate what I'm doing, the same with One Wallet. The DeFi Kingdom teams was awesome. They have 100 ideas they want to run with you all the time. And the API vision was, everyone was, so the linking with them was really good, and it also gives you a lot of ideas of how to deal with issues when bringing more people in. So I really enjoyed the booth. It was tough. We spent 20 hours in there, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we thought it wasn't going to be that big of an event, but as the weeks rolled into it, it became very apparent that it was going to be a really big event, and the event proved it right. The foot traffic coming through was insane. Some people had, during registration, some people had to wait 2.5 hours to get their entrance ticket. Well, maybe there's some parts to do with organization, but that also means there's a lot of foot traffic coming in.
Yeah.
And the other part is, it's just so much enthusiasm around both NFTs and DeFi together. When I said that the other booths didn't have that much, it was pretty quiet, not because it was no traffic. There was a lot of people. I had to wait in line to talk to Polygon folks or again and talk to Cardano folks. So there are people talking like in layers. For DeFi Kingdom, sometimes there's layers of 5 groups of people waiting to talk to them. And they had 7 people like there most of the time. So it just shows how busy that place was. And I think Sam, that picture is worth 1,000 words. It was very successful in that way. And we got quite a bit of follow-ups to do. And we're tracking that list, and that list is actually very long right now. And that's not the comprehensive list of all the people that we talked to. We pulled out the potential partners and potential launches on Harmony, and that list itself is quite extensive. We are going to have a lot of follow-ups to do in the next couple of months.
Yeah, it was great. What about you, RJ? Any comments that you have?
Yeah, I think definitely is a great event. And I think it's a very smart move that in our booth, we included all of our ecosystem project to highlight them. One of the reasons that our booth steal the show is basically our booth is like 4 or 6 projects there, right? Whoever stand there, like they can just talk to like 6 projects at the same time. So that's why a lot of people really enjoy like sitting around and talking around our booth. And also, I think this NFT event still shows that there's still a lot of interest in NFT and DeFi. A lot of new projects still coming out, and also existing projects are all focused on like chasing NFT project. Things like Polygon, they have like the studio for NFT, and also like Cardano, Kadena. We'll also talk to like Filecoin. They're also like tailoring their decentralized storage solution to NFT storage, which we're gonna talk to like integrate with Harmony. So overall, we definitely get a lot of potential partnership conversation going on. And I really enjoyed like socializing with all these projects, especially with DeFi Kingdom folks. They definitely have a great kind of vision, have a great plan to like further improve their game and serve the user better. They're also going multi-chain, but they're still gonna focus on Harmony's version as the core. So as they go multi-chain, I think just now they announced like a launching on Avalanche in the Twitter. So as they expand to multi-chain, it's gonna further enhance the value at the core, which is the DeFi Kingdom at Harmony. So it's great. It's a great event. Really enjoyed all of the time, and thanks for like all the organizer like Sam, like organizing all these booth events. Really great show.
Thank you.
Shout out to Adrian as well for prepping a lot of the artwork, Nora and Rosa and Gabe. So thank them. Some of them are not here, but thanks to them, this has been a really successful setup.
Yep,
Very good.
One other thing I just want to flag is, so I was interviewed on Bloomberg, so we'll be watching for that. That'll be coming up soon. But also in that conversation with Bloomberg, I introduced him to Jemer from DeFi Kingdoms. So then DeFi Kingdoms was also interviewed by Bloomberg, which is fantastic. And I think it looks like Rosa said it's going to be January 18th is when it's going to go live.
And Jeff too, right? From by the way, Matt and NFT folks, highly energetic, great team, by the way. I don't know how they continue at this pace. Sam, you want to talk more about Matt and NFT?
I mean, I've been talking about Mad and NFT for a while. I'm so excited to see them go live. Like they've been rebuilding their site. They've been doing a lot of great things. And they're going to bring a very high caliber NFT marketplace to Harmony. And it's just them finalizing the smart contract piece. Last week, Jeff was saying that they'll be launching within the next 10 days. So hopefully we'll be seeing that relatively soon. They're just getting back to, most of them are based out of England. So they're just getting back to the home country.
Their designs look so slick.
So slick. Yeah. So cool.
Good
So
one.
also, there were I was on a panel with the Chainlink people, and they're also very excited about what they're doing on Harmony. And we had our moderator on our scaling DeFi panel didn't show up, so we just kind of winged it, and it was fun. So I had a good time kind of chatting with that. The other thing I will mention really quickly before we move off of Miami is Shannon, who helped do our stranger party in New York, brought me around on Wednesday afternoon and evening. So in Miami last week and this week is Art Basel, which is the largest art exhibition event conference in the world at any given time. So she has talked to me a couple of times about the idea that, look, if we are doing NFTs, they're kind of still living in the crypto sphere, but a lot of artists want to get involved, but we don't have any overlap between those two fields. And so she was introducing me to a lot of people who are in the artistic world who want to be involved in NFTs and want to come over and see what we're doing on Harmony. So a lot of the follow-up that I have is going to be some very interesting, high caliber, high class projects that will hopefully find some traction. Adrian, this really goes into more of our cultural play that we've been talking about a lot for 2022. In that conversation, I was introduced to one of the guys over at Super Rare. And so I'll be having a conversation with him about kind of what it would need to happen for Super Rare also to deploy on Harmony. So it was great. I don't know. I don't have anything else because I'm still glowing in the after effects and the after event, but it was a good time. I missed you all. You should all have been there. Besides that, it was great.
Good. Thanks for the update. Speaking of events, we have our big day one event coming up in San Francisco in 2 days. Lee, any updates there? Just to remind everyone.
All right. So everything is coming out along nicely. Agenda's finished. There's always last minute coordination. Adrian's running the rest of the show, actually. You guys should have seen him last week at the venue, but there'll be some amazing videos. RCPs look pretty good as well, with both Timeless and our partner Party Time, who's doing the reception. Everything actually is up to date on the harmony.one/web3 page, including the except for one performance at the end, but everything else is up to date. So you can see like the full on agenda. And I think for the rest of the team, you all should just come and enjoy. Obviously prepare, like I think Give is working with everybody to prepare their talks. So that's something that everyone will need to do. But otherwise, my goal is actually to take all the event ops off of almost everyone and put it on Adrian, actually. and Matt now, and me. But anyway.
Congrats, Adrian.
Yeah. And Adrian, you want to say anything?
My mouth is numb because but I'll try and talk. It's been quite a week. I have been on the phone for as long as I can think, I guess. Just coordinating this entire event and making sure that it doesn't flop. So I'm gonna, we're all gonna make it, and it's it's gonna be great. I definitely put on a show for the owners of the venue to try and get a better price. And yeah, we got a lot of cool things. We're building a stage, we're getting furniture in, everything is spared no expense, I guess you could say. It's a really big event. When Lee said we were going to throw this event, I thought it was just going to be like one of the other events in San Francisco. This is not like one of the other events. This is very high end, very let's go out with a bang. So definitely for everyone watching, you should be there. So
that's right. Anyone in the Bay Area or willing to drive up somewhere from
Yeah.
California or other states, please come.
It's the Pearl on the 8th, Wednesday, from 10 to 10. So it is a big deal. And I know that Lee probably can tell you a short list of speakers. I think someone from OpenSea is going to be one of the first speakers. There's a bunch. I think Olympus Dow is going to be there. So.
It's going to be great. Harmony.1/Web3. You can see the whole agenda. That's going to be really good.
And
anything else?
Yeah.
Do we have
sorry.
any remote speaker? Do we have any remote speaker?
No remote.
Oh, so everyone had to be like a on site.
It's all on site.
I'm also going to chime in and say, if you're not going to be able to attend because you live halfway across the world, it will be live streamed on our YouTube channel.
Oh, I didn't know that. Fantastic.
So 12, well, maybe not 12 hours of content, because I don't think anyone wants to watch us, drink booze on the roof. But, I think from like 10 to maybe 5, I would say that there's periodic live streaming, maybe a break for lunch. But yeah.
Amazing.
It's going to be the YouTube channel, Harmony Protocol. So.
Awesome.
Avi is going to ask each of you to do some social sharing. So please do that. And it really will be the last opportunity to get everyone in the community together. Oh, one other thing I'll just say about San Francisco. I think I've said this a few times already. Like, interestingly enough, very few protocols now have core teams in San Francisco. And I was at a hackathon this past weekend at what's called South Park Commons, which is an invite-only founders community. So there's 400 founders. It's almost like Y Combinator, for those of you who know that program. And we were the only protocol that sponsored. There were at least 10 demos that launched on Harmony Testnet, actually, this past weekend in 2 days, right? And we gave a small $1,000 prize to all the projects that were able to launch on Testnet this weekend. And I'm in their Discord community with 100 people. So actually, in some ways, we should, well, of course, we should go to all the major ecosystems, but even here, like in San Francisco, we should double down. And so invite all your friends. This will be the big event of the year.
For sure. And we also have the university hackathon as well. That's officially kicked off.
Yes.
And I don't know, do you want to introduce our friend Matt, or maybe when he's on the call?
Yeah, so Matt is not on, but I can do the 60-second overview. So I think Sam and Giv, you guys had a conversation with the person organizing Stanford Blockchain Club. And so we said we're going to do a hackathon for Stanford students. It's going to lead into the Silicon Valley Web3 week next year in January, when the Stanford Blockchain Conference is going on. And so we said, okay, let's go talk to Berkeley. And then we know someone at CMU. And then we said, okay, let's open it to every university that wants to participate. As long as it's a student blockchain club, we'll give out prizes. It'll be really nice. Again, like, the irony is that very few protocols are doing the ground game of actually going to Stanford, Berkeley, like showing up. The day that we went to the Berkeley demo day, there was no one else, like other than us in presence physically there. So yeah, it will be really amazing, and Matt will help scale that. We have other partners like the Blockchain Education Network and Encode Club that we're going to talk to just get more participation. And yeah, it'll be, so after the December 8th event, we'll talk a lot more about the January Silicon Valley Web3 week, which will have the Stanford Blockchain Conference, the Starkware conference, which I was going to say all the engineers should go to, but I think everyone should go to, actually. And we'll end that week on Saturday with a special TGI at a house in Palo Alto with steak for everyone who remembers. It'll be like old times.
Awesome. Since we're talking about events, I did want to give a quick shout out to our friends in Kenya for kicking off the first meetup in Nairobi, which is very exciting. There's some photos that have been shared on the Harmony Twitter account. This is the first initiative from the Harmony Africa DAO, and we're planning to have many, many more events across the entire continent. So that's very exciting. Okay.
Also want to, since we're still on events, if anyone watching, I actually don't live in the Bay Area with the team. I live in Los Angeles, and I had talked to Lee about trying to do an event in Los Angeles to basically, the same way that Sam was talking about bringing artists and these NFT together. There's no, you need that bridge, that human bridge to explain what this whole thing is and connect the communities. We're going to try and do the same thing in Los Angeles. We've already been doing that internally with several different potential partners, but you know, we want to expand that to include everybody. So I'm going to try and take charge and take the lead on that for early January, I think. Still confirming the venue, but as soon as we know, we'll let the community know. So
Back to Hakwon and Rachel. They're both pretty active down there.
I've already been in touch with them. So
Awesome.
not Rachel, but definitely Hakwon. I'm going to meet Rachel very soon. She's coming to the event, so on day one. So
Fantastic. Before we go into some launch updates, I'm going to hand it off to Sam to talk about our internal performance review process and highlights. Take it away.
So everybody's favorite topic is doing performance reviews. Peter, how much do you love doing performance reviews?
Totally love it. I want to do it every day.
That's a lie. You and I have had conversations about this. You hate performance reviews.
You made it fun though, Sam, to be fair. You made it fun.
You did.
you.
It was actually pretty enjoyable. And this is a process that's necessary, right? So
Yeah.
anyway.
100%. So, and it's not just me though. We were able to use, of course, we had our Google document that had all the comments that everybody wrote about other people, and that was fantastic. Great feedback. Some of the stuff that I personally received is very on the nose. You know, it's there are some projects that I have that got pushed back a little bit or missed a little bit because I was focused on other things, and I need to refocus my efforts really on these DAO toolings. So I encourage you all to go through and read the comments on your performance reviews. But I really want to highlight two different things. Number one, the usage that we had of Coordinape, because I think it actually worked really well. I enjoyed it. And also kind of the results of the Typeform cultural role model experiment. Not experiment, but just survey. So let me share my screen really quickly. I tallied there you go. I tallied who were the cultural role models, and Lee, because Lee is who he is, he said, okay, don't include me as a cultural role model because he knows that he would be at the top of everybody's list. But what I did is I broke them all down. And one of the things that's really interesting to see when we kind of break them down is how brand new members of the team, like Adrian, can have such a huge impact on the culture and the environment that we all work in. Give Peter and Adrian are kind of our top three role models for the various different cultures. And Adrian, I don't mean to say that you're brand new, but you've been on the team, what, 2 months, 3 months? And so to see
4.5.
Well, crypto time. No one really understands how crypto time works. It's all a time vortex. But what's really interesting is we see how the various different members of the team really contribute in a very tangible way to the culture that we're trying to build here into Harmony and into the community in general. Give, I was wondering, one of the ones that you won as your cultural role model was your optimism about flying off of a cliff. right? So this is the idea that in a startup, you're going to jump off a cliff and you're going to build your plane or your rocket ship on the way down. Can you just, for a minute, just talk about why do you think that people look at you and say, oh, he's optimistic about jumping off a cliff?
So I can't speak for everyone, but just my own take is going back to my time at Amazon, and some of you know about this who are ex-Amazonians here, that there's this philosophy around one-way or two-way doors, right? One-way doors are destructive. You go through and there's no way back in. Two-way doors are okay. You can experiment, you can go out. If it doesn't work, no worries, you go back in and you try something else, right? So that has always kind of stayed with me, where you can make a decision based on an experiment or an intuition and just go with it, right? Give it a try. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, no worries. Go back, you've learned something, try it again. On that level, kind of being from various startups, you kind of build that intuition to experiment, fail often, all the cliches. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
That's amazing. Peter, one of the ones that you were the role model for was your role in nurturing and mentoring your coworkers. Why do you think that people look at you and be like, oh, that's my role model for being a good mentor?
I don't know. I don't know, because I've been absent for a while dealing with family things, which have been really hard. So I don't know, but I'm really grateful that you guys think that, and I'm happy to help and pitch in however I can and help everybody's careers be better.
If I may, can I just put in my 2 cents about Peter? Peter is an amazing person. He is not only extremely knowledgeable, he has a ton of experience, probably more than most of us in the crypto space. But he's extremely humble, right? He is just so easy to talk to. He's very entrusting of people around him that he works with. And speaking personally, seeing Peter kind of entrust me with a lot of these accounts while he's going through this difficult time is really heartwarming to me, that he trusts me, someone who's relatively recent to the organization. But I think that level of camaraderie really comes through from Peter, and I really appreciate being his colleague.
Yeah, likewise. And even though I put Peter on the spot, I knew that he probably wasn't going to say anything, because I know him well enough to be like, he's incredibly humble, to Giv's point. I've worked with Peter multiple times in my career, and every single time I've worked with him, I've always been incredibly impressed by his willingness to empower those he works with or those who work for him and give them the opportunity to fly. And that's really what nurturing and mentoring is all about. So Peter, thank you for being part of the team and bringing us together.
Yeah, I want to chime in a little bit. So I guess you and Give already provide a lot of insight. So, but working with Peter for a while, so I think one of the reason, I guess, right, so why people put Peter as a nurturing and mentoring is because of his deep knowledge about the crypto ecosystem, and also about what's happening and what's new. This is especially important for a platform team like us. So we most of the time we're bearing down on working on the platform infrastructure from engineering perspective, but the entire platform needs to really get the ecosystem to develop in order for the platform to put into real usage. I think Peter, really pushing forward for that, and also driving the effort, like including all the hackathon, or the bounty, all those reach out to the major partner. I think that's what I guess people, he said he didn't know. I think that's probably everybody knows that it was Peter who really pushing forward and driving us to get more the ecosystem integration. Yeah, thank you, Peter.
Yeah. And I know we could all sit here and just tell Peter how great we think he is. And I don't want to stop that, but let's write it up in an email or send him a Christmas card. Because I do want to have Adrian speak to something really quick, because he was also the constantly learning part of our culture. Adrian was highlighted as our role model for being somebody who's willing to be constantly learning. Adrian, I think the world of you. I think you're fantastic. I have so much fun working with you. And I just want to say, I voted for you for this one, that you're always constantly learning. But what do you have to say about the importance of constantly learning and constantly being open to new things and new experiences?
I have to learn it, because that's what if I wouldn't be representing the brand if I don't. Yeah, it's out of necessity, I guess. I also feel like the dumbest person in the room sometimes, because you guys are all geniuses. But I remember Lee saying that's actually probably a strength, because I can, where a lot of people might get stuck in the weeds, I can just be like, okay, what does a normal person think about this? How does a normal person see it? And you know, I think I want to learn as much as I can, but I don't want to lose that, if you know what I mean. Because
100%.
once you get to the point where you're just like, oh, you don't know what RPC is? You know, nobody knows what RPC is, you know? And like, you know, so anyway, I think only a very small amount of developers really get this stuff. Everyone else is just along for the ride and wants the top line. And they at the end of the day, they just wanted to change they want it to make their lives better. And that's our job, is to make everyone's life better, build wealth.
I am going to post the full results on the forum, just so everyone kind of see them. But Adrian, I'm not going to let you denigrate yourself by saying you don't feel like you're the smartest person in the room, because there's another position, there's another role model that you also won, which is one of the people who will bring us to 10x growth. Like, you are a role model for the person that's going to bring Harmony to 10x growth. And you can only do that with talent and drive and energy and ambition and intelligence. And so, you know, I think, like I said, I think the world of you, and I'm very happy to have you on the team. So I will be posting kind of the results of this this survey online, so you can see, you know, the fact that let's see, everybody wants to share a beer with Jack, and everybody thinks it'd be great to work with Jack for 10 hours a day, which, you know, is fantastic. But everyone will see all these various different breakdowns. The other thing I wanted to turn to very quickly, because I know we have breakout rooms that we want to do, and everybody has, you know, other things to get done, is Coordinate. So this was a lot of fun to both be on the back end and help set up this experience, and then to see really how this all works. So this is our map of all the people. Now, we limited everybody to only 5 people that you could work with. And so what that means is you had to say, okay, I worked with a whole team. I've worked with all of these various different people. How can I just limit it to 5? And it's like, oh, this is a constraint that actually makes you think about who it is you worked with, right? And who it is you really want to recognize, or who it is that you think about the work that you did, or the work that you helped somebody else do, or the overall progress and success of the chain of this last year. Where do you see those buckets being filled? Now, I've highlighted myself because I can pick on myself a little bit. And you can see how my outflows only went to 5, but then the inflows also came in from multiple people as well. And that's really exciting to be able to see things that, you know, I worked with. So, you know, or Give, like all of the various different people. This is how, one of the reasons why when we think about, you know, the impact that Give has on our team, you can actually see it graphically represented right here, with all of these people recognizing Give's contributions, or Jack's contributions, or let's see, Adrian, where are you, mate? There you are. Or Adrian's contributions right there. And you can see how all of this kind of comes together. So I just want to highlight the top 5 people who received They're pure bonus. As you can see, like you are the best, the best recipient. You are amazing. And you received a substantial amount, and so did Jack. I came in third. It's not a competition. But then Soph and Adrian, we don't see Soph often enough on this particular call because it's a bad time for him. But I have talked to multiple people on the technical side that we don't necessarily see all of the hard work that some of our engineers do, because it's not Miami, right? It's not launching Aave. It's somebody working really hard in the background to make sure our RPC bandwidth is open, or the final pieces that we need to launch Chainlink are done. So I just want to say, for all of the engineers, that we may not see all of the various different things that you do, know that we feel it, right? Know that you're definitely part of the team, and that you're definitely worthy and worth and an exceptional contribution to what we've been able to do this year. So there you go. There's a little bit of Coordinape. Thank you all very much. It is amazing kind of going through these various different performance reviews. Hopefully it wasn't too painful, and we'll be doing another one next week. So I'm glad that. No, I'm kidding.
Just quickly, just to echo what Sam said, I do want to call out Yuri on the call here, Jenya. So, like Sam said, just because not everyone's in the spotlight, doing launches and tweeting doesn't mean they're not contributors. Exactly the opposite, right? Yuri, Jenya, Boris, like there are so many amazing contributors, Jackie, that a lot of the community may not even know about, but they're the glue, right? They're the ones who are actually doing all the hard work and making things happen. So really, really appreciate everyone's work.
Don't
Okay.
forget Soph.
Soph, of course, yes. Okay, so just some quick product updates before we go to breakout rooms. We'll go around, but I just want to quickly update the latest. So the Chainlink launch has been a blocker for several projects like BTC Bridge, and we got confirmation that they're no longer blocked, and it looks like the price feeds are going to be live on our mainnet by the end of this week. We're going to give it some time just to settle and make sure everything looks okay before doing an official announcement, hopefully next week. But what that means is that a bunch of other integrations, like the BTC Bridge, is now unblocked. Aave are now unblocked as well. So now we're beginning that integration with them. So lots of things happening because of that outcome. So that's very exciting. Who wants to go first? Ganesha, do you want to give us a quick update on BTC Bridge?
Sure. Yeah, the Chainlink will integrate with them as soon as the price feeds become available sometime this week. And we also, while fixing the audit issues, we ran into another issue of contract size exceeding the limit. So we're currently slightly changing the design architecture to accommodate that. We're still keeping the contracts upgradable. And we'll, in the background, we'll keep on updating and adding fixes and so on to the contracts and working with the audit firm to confirm the fixes. This will go on this week. Another task is like we'll launch multiple vaults, internal vaults, and also I think I'll work with Daniel this week to see if we can involve some of the validators to also participate. Currently, everything happening in like a background, we need to involve the community more and to see if wherever there is a possibility of participation, we should do so. I'll talk to Daniel to see if we can. Ideal scenario is like a small amount of BTC vaults hosted by externals, like at least like 10 to 15 is very nice. It'll show when we launch, if we are able to show that it's quite decentralized, then it'll leave a good impression to begin with. So I'll try to see how we can maximize that. Now, ideally, I'd say, yeah, early next week, we'll see if we can cross out everything and ready for the launch and see if we can launch next week.
Excellent. Thank you,
Yuri,
Ganesha.
anything I missed?
Yes, I want to add that we have added Coinbase transfer support from
Yeah.
last. Yeah, and right now I'm focusing on external vaults documentation and external vaults security monitoring. So,
Yeah, the Coinbase fix is also important, where users can directly send their BTC from the exchange wallet and claim their one BTC. And then the external vault documentation will help bring the external participants and onboard them quickly.
Got it.
Excuse me, I have two more questions. So one is the security audit, because like the BTC bridge can be a huge sensitive, and also security will be one of the major concerns from community. So how is that progress? And the second, to be in the external vault provider, any incentive from us or from the protocol? Because I mean, for similar protocol like the Keep network, they do reward their vault operator using like the Keep token, right? So that's a TBTC for the decentralization, decentralized BTC bridge. So do we have other plan on this?
Yeah, great question. For the audit, like our security firm already gave an initial report, and after we run the fixes through them, we are good. But they will continuously review the fix and provide next set of minor, medium kind of issues, which we can fix even after launch. But what we want to ensure is like there is no critical bugs during the launch. So currently, they already gave us some issues that we fixed or in the process of fixing, and then running by them to see if they are okay with the fixes. But they will do one more round after, maybe in 1-2 weeks. But we are okay to launch even before that. We just confirm with them there's no more critical issues. And also we are getting it the contracts reviewed by others as well internally, so that we cover multiple, not only rely only on the security firm, but also some more smart contract experts also review them. So we are doing all the efforts to cover all aspects. On the incentive for external participation side, initial incentive would be just the bridge fees that directly goes to vault, which is 0.5% on every transaction, like issue, redeem, which is to begin with is on par with the staking rewards. Like vaults have to pledge their one tokens, right, to support bridging BTC. So this 0.5% fees is kind of on par with what reward they can get if the same amount of one is staked. But this has to be sustainable, right? So this, I still have to work with Daniel and pick his brain, and also Lee, to see if we can have some kind of subsidy mechanism for all the vaults. We support them with some ones. But on the long term, which is like after the initial launch, we also need to work on some kind of derivative mechanism, or where the collateralized ones receive some kind of derived tokens back, which they can use to participate in DeFi to maximize their value for their collateralization, right? We have some ideas in mind, but it won't happen for the initial launch, of course. But we'll try to make sure that external participation is at least like beneficial than just staking. Otherwise, we won't be able to attract more. So we'll still have to work with Daniel and Lee to see how much we can subsidize beyond the bridge fees that vaults will receive anyway. More traffic means more fees for the vaults. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Ganesha. I do want to quickly talk about just a quick network update, but any other product launch updates? Okay. All right, Jack, do you want to give us a quick update on the status of the network?
Yeah, so as I was coming back from Miami and getting up to speed on things, I thought the RPC issue, there's some, I thought I saw some RPC issue being reported. I happened to be in one of the communities and discussing that. And thank you guys out there for correcting me on the understanding of where things are. Things are pretty serious. I think there was something that was going on about 24 to 48 hours ago. Now it seems to have calmed down. Our synthetics have not detected anything, but clearly there were issues. So we will be coming back with a postmortem report. I'm collecting some data right now. Unfortunately, Soph has some family matters to attend to, so it's unreachable. But no matter what, we'll come back with a postmortem and announce it to the community about what our findings are and what we're going to do about it. And we can sort of, again, put this behind us. But thank you again to the community members that pointed out to us and called things out.
Thanks, Jack. Okay, so we have a few minutes. Anything else? Any other questions, announcements before we go to our breakout rooms?
Both cross-chain and One Anchor has updates on the Notion. It's a lot of stuff there, so I won't take now. So the updates are there.
Okay.
Quick, crypto market Latin America at launch with Harmony, the first Latin American DEX to do it. We met those guys in Berkeley, and yeah, that's it.
Very good. Thanks, Boris.
And sorry, one more.
Go
We're
on.
having our offsite next week as well. I think everyone on this call, except for people out of the country, are coming for some or part of it. So that'll be really amazing.
Can't wait. We'll share pictures. And I want to give a shout out to Kratos, who's probably going to be the first person to watch this video. Thank you for everything. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great week. And I'll send you to your breakout rooms.